welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Minneapolis. Maria Bartholdi here in the booth, joined by Rich Hagan. Lucas Duchow there on the left side of your screen, facing off against Austin Wahl.
Right now, Lucas is a Mitgo monster.
Yes, he is.
Now, you interviewed him at the Mitgo Championship.
Yes.
And he is just like one of the great all-time players on Magic Online.
Yeah, he loves Magic Online. He plays it all the time. He talks about getting up, nothing but Magic Online all day. He's a super dedicated player and a friend of Owen Turtenwald.
Well, we're playing limited apparently because there's a long tusk cub. No. So and then we come out with Servant of the Conduit up next.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna see some energy shenanigans here happening, at least on Austin's side of the battlefield, and on Lucas's as well. We've got a Rogue Refiner hitting the table for Lucas. Both players starting the game off with 2 energy.
This is pretty convenient actually because I'm glad the players have got some energy because I'm really struggling.
Rich, you're doing such a great job.
Is it convincing?
Yes, it is. And we've got dueling Abrades here. Servant of the Conduit is going to get in for 2. Both players have thrown out 1 Abrade during this game so far.
Wasn't that in a like 1970s movie, Dueling Abrades?
Yeah, it was one of my favorites.
It was that. Ding, 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 ding.
That was great. Was that a banjo? That's what it sounded
Was that a banjo? What did you think it was, a flute?
I don't know. Great point. Good point, Rich.
And how convenient is this? A Virtuoso is the next card onto the battlefield.
Lovely.
Seamless, my friends. Seamless. Some would say pointless, but I prefer seamless.
Tireless Tracker is going to hit the table for Austin Wahl, and as you mentioned, a Whirler Virtuoso in play for Duchow, who has 2 energy currently, and a Thopter. Oh, here we go. Sky Sovereign Consul Flagship. This is a big play. Going to hit the table and take out that Servant of the Conduit, dealing 3. This is a card where you're seeing a lot of one-ofs in a bunch of lists. We can see the power here, just allowing Duchow to smash in for a bunch of damage and to have a big threat on the table as well.
So I have a question for everyone in chat. Am I correct that Sky Sovereign Console Flagship is a card that people are thinking is a main deckable card, specifically that's one of the key cards to beating mono red? Is that the way of things? Pintai Het Wizard says console in main board.
Yeah, I have been seeing it show up kind of as a one-of,
Right.
but I'm not exactly sure what the reasoning behind that is. We see Abrade take it out quite easily there from Austin Wahl, but a Glorybringer is going to just smash Exerted, taking out the Tireless Tracker, and Duchow kind of putting himself in a great position this early in the game.
Yes.
Yeah, Austin's got a lot of work to do to try to come back. I see another Long Tusk Cub in his hand as well as an Abrade.
Yeah,
And a Glorybringer.
Wahl trying to come back with a Long Tusk Cub's going to reach out with an Abrade for the Whirler Virtuoso. The Exerted deck goes away as deck lists duly arrive for our main match.
Lovely.
With a bit of luck, Lucas Duchow has very generously typed up his deck list, or electronically delivered that.
Oh, thank you, Lucas.
We don't yet have Austin's list in front of us.
So we can see another Abrade there going to take care of Austin's Long Tusk Cub.
And now Bristling Hydra.
So it's going to be an interesting story over the weekend, how we see people sort of dealing with mono red. What is their strategy to beat what was at the Pro Tour easily the best deck in the format? Are we going to see people playing zombies, mono black zombies? Is that a deck that is well positioned to beat mono red? Or are we going to start seeing decks that are good against zombies? And here we see the first game of this match going to Duchow, leading it off on 1-0 versus Austin Wahl.
Who was looking very, very sharp there.
Oh, yes.
That is a man who did not get dressed in the dark. I know that because if he got dressed in the dark, he wouldn't have been able to find any of his clothes.
That is a good point, Rich. It's well known that you cannot find black leather jackets in the dark. I think that's a saying.
Yeah.
It's a pretty deep saying.
It's one of the truisms of the universe.
Taking a look here at Duchow's lovely typed up deck list. Yeah, we can see the copy, 1 copy of Sky Sovereign Console Flagship in the main deck and 1 in the sideboard as well. 2 Crook of Condemnations in his sideboard, which is kind of a nod to the God Pharaoh's Gift deck that I think a lot of people thought was going to make a bigger splash at the Pro Tour than it did. It's a really, really cool deck, super fun.
Yeah, see, there's an interesting dynamic going on there because that's the kind of deck that pros in particular want to be good.
Right.
They would love that deck to be good, and they would love for it to be good for several reasons, one of which is that that would mean that mono red was not as good as they were afraid it was.
Sure.
And, like, I think, I don't know how often sort of, talk more Magic.
Ooh. Okay, we're going to take a look in here at our second table.
Hey, Maria, guess what?
What?
You're on play-by-play. I'm the expert, quote unquote, which means you get to talk about what's on the live bar up there.
Oh, right.
You hunt for the right words.
A+ there, Rich. A+. All right, I'm going to do my best here. Please forgive me as I'm looking at this name. Majikiiwis Hunter versus Royce Walter. Hunter on 14, Walter on 27. And speaking of God Pharaoh's Gift, there you see it on the right side of your screen. Royce with one in play, as well as a gate to the afterlife. And, yeah, some pretty big embalmed creatures there. We've got basically a Baneslayer angel on the rightmost side of the battlefield.
Basically speaking.
Yeah.
Now, slightly misleadingly, perhaps, Rashad, we can get this fixed over there. We have the purple dice should be for -1/-1 counters, not for energy. So that's our sort of goal to give you a sense. Yes, chat is suggesting, Maria, that you go with Majikiiwis.
Oh, okay.
Which would be like Jason Chung or Zen Takahashi.
Majikiiwis?
They would be Majikiiwis.
Okay.
I'm pretty certain that is not how that's pronounced, by the way. But I think Majikiiwis is a pretty safe option for now.
Okay, we'll go with that. Yeah, those are going to be +1/+1 counters on the Angel of Invention there, as it does have Fabricate 2, which is one of the big reasons that we're playing it in this God Pharaoh's Gift deck, because it can come in, you can make some extra dudes if you need extra dudes, or you can put counters on it just to be a giant life-linking flying threat.
Ender Ola in chat suggests that Majikiiwis Hunter sounds like a pretty badass magic card. Maybe it's in Ixalan.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Ixalan, now you got me thinking about Ixalan.
Okay, well, there's far too many permanents on this screen, so let's reduce it through the magic of going back to table 1.
All right, here we're back. Main match, table 1. Lucas Duchow versus Austin Wahl. These names, easier on me.
Yep, I can name every non-land permanent on that battlefield right now. And even now, it's a Servant of the Conduit.
Well done, Rich.
Thank you.
At a battle of energy here, Servant of the Conduit, as you said, for Duchow, Austin Wahl. Ooh, here we go. We're going to draw 2, discard 2.
This is a champion of wits.
Which is interesting in an energy list. I don't believe I've seen that before.
So if you have a battle of champion of wits, do you like draw 200 and then discard 200? Something like that?
Yeah, I think that's
That's how it works?
That's how it works.
Okay.
Chandra's going to hit the table there for Duchow, ticking down to get rid of that champion of wits, and getting in. Oh, sorry, paying for Chandra with the Servant of the Conduit.
Right.
I see a Harness Lightning hanging out in Austin's hand, and a Rogue Refiner is going to hit the table, giving Austin some more energy and a card.
And there we are. They're using the right dice now. Bless them. Thanks, guys.
Chandra will tick up for Duchow. Tireless Tracker hitting the table, and a clue soon to follow. It's neat to see which decks kind of make a resurgence after the Pro Tour, and energy decks were they were in the mix of things a little earlier this year. Rogue Refiner for Duchow as well, drawing a card.
Yeah, I'm unaware of anyone who actually does this. By the way, this is looking like a real 2-0 blowout very fast, which would be grim news. As you can imagine, people at home, we don't have any matches lined up other than the live ones, because this is round 1, and in round 0, nobody played.
Ooh, yeah, that is accurate.
Kind of how it works. So we like best of 3s here. We like game 3s a lot in the feature match area in round 1, because otherwise we get to talk with you a lot.
Well, you're good at that, Rich. This is a quick Rich backstory. I once
there
asked
is
him
no such thing as a quick Rich backstory.
I once asked him how long he could talk about nothing, literal nothing.
Do you think I should do that? Is that should I do that thing?
And
Oh my God, they would.
I don't know, Rich, if people can handle it.
I'm not sure they could. I think there would be actual physical harm for some people.
And he told me, you know, I think I could probably do it for how long did you say? I mean, it was hours.
Well, my only real concern is like whether the vocal cords could do it. I would think somewhere between 4 and 8 hours would be thoroughly viable to basically say nothing about Magic. I can do that. I mean, I've been doing it for thousands of hours already in my life. You know, I've built up a pretty big repertoire of saying nothing.
All right, we're seeing the first blood here drawn as the Rogue Refiner gets in. Duchow with lots of energy to work with as well. Long Tusk Cub hitting the table for him. Bristling Hydra already in play.
This is a great shot. Oh, about 3 seconds ago would have been a great screenshot of why 2020 is not in any way representative of what's happening in a game of Magic.
Absolutely.
Necessarily.
2 Rogue Refiners for Austin here, trying to dig himself out of this hole that he's already in game 2 here. Although sitting across from Duchow, round 1, a pretty formidable opponent. A braid was kind of the name of the game in our first game here of this match. Both players firing off several braids in the early portion of the game. One currently sitting in Wahl's hand as well. But right now, Duchow is just winning the game on number of permanents in play alone and a Planeswalker to boot.
Yeah, that's the terrifying thing. It's like, never mind whether he's attacking, although, okay, here he comes with almost everything to kind of close the game out. But how do you ever get to that Chandra sitting over there? It's just two Rogue Refiners and not much else. And hey, I'm just going to spend a bit of energy, get a counter on my Long Tusk Cub, put a second counter on my Long Tusk Cub, make that bigger than your blocker. Let's trade off there. Let's have everything on your side die. You've just got plans.
Go.
I am going to use my expert knowledge, Maria.
Yes.
To say that Lucas is ahead.
Well done, Rich.
Thank you.
Well done.
Okay, Jake, you can turn around. I've got it. I've got this. It's all right.
JVL, get on that plane. Go right back. Rich.
I'm not even sure he's on a plane yet. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Rich, pinch hitter here. Grand Prix Minneapolis. Here we see a Whirler Virtuoso for Austin, which could give him a number of blockers to help save a little time here.
I'm all for that, by the way, as I see the clock at 37 minutes. If he can survive to 36 minutes, that's 1 minute and 15 seconds less of me talking about nothing.
This is, by the way, my hometown GP. I live here in Minneapolis.
Oh, okay.
And you say that like you don't know.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I thought that was better than, well, obviously I know that. Why are you telling me?
And home to a Pro Tour coming up next year, which I'm pretty excited about.
That's true. Yeah. When is that? Is that the November one? Is that the back end?
This is the team Pro Tour.
Oh, it's the 25th anniversary.
Yes.
Oh my Lord, the $1 million weekend.
$1 million weekend.
Which is going to be crazy.
So we're having the team Pro Tour, but also another tournament.
This invitational.
The invitational.
Yeah.
That's $1 million prize pool.
I'm wondering who else is going to be playing in that, because I presume I am.
Oh, are you?
I just naturally presume. I mean, who else would you want to invite to an invitational?
I would definitely invite you, Rich.
I would invite me. I'd commentate my own matches live. It'd be great. Plus, I could use $1 million.
Yeah. Okay, I'll put your name in.
Oh, would you? in the production meetings.
No problem.
Thanks. I win, a bit like Lucas, because
there's the handshake.
Because he has demolished Austin Wahl in 2 distressingly quick games. And the great news is, have we got Austin? Oh, there we are. Yep, marvelous. We've got Austin Wahl's deck list, so we can take a look at that and try and work out what his plan was.
Sure.
Because the plan on the face of it was to lose handily. And
he did win the jacket game, though, as is being pointed out in chat.
He did.
Absolutely.
Yes, partial metal jacket.
So we see here Austin playing we're starting another match, but we'll have his list here to take a look at later.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll alphabetize Austin Wahl's deck for you. later in the show.
And this is pretty cool because we do get a chance to see Walter's deck play out here, which if you haven't had a chance to see a God Pharaoh's Gift deck go off, I mean, we saw the tail end of it last round. It's really a treat to watch. Champion of Wits already in play, which is one of the hallmark cards of the deck. Here, Royce thinking it's going to the graveyard already. Being able to draw you cards and come back, draw you more cards, allowing you to discard, putting, for example, your God Pharaoh's Gift into the graveyard, getting it back with Refurbish, this sort of thing.
God, this all sounds terribly complicated. Why can't we have mono red on screen?
It is actually kind of complicated, but it's also really cool.
Which I think, particularly at Pro Tours, we sometimes forget how important coolness is in Magic. Coolness is a driver for so many things that are great in the game. We have to suspend our, yes, that's coolness at the PT because wins are what matters. Platinum is what matters. Player of the Year is what matters. But we've all done it. We've all sleeved up a pile of nonsense for F&M.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And loved going 2 and 3 because we got to do cool stuff.
I mean, it's the joy of it, right?
Yep.
Getting to make really silly decks and just have a great time. Maybe they're not super competitive, but they are super fun. Here we see Minister of Inquiries for Royce, adding some energy. He'll be able to mill himself, putting more cards into his graveyard that will hopefully be able to get back with something like a God Pharaoh's Gift. Angel of Invention and Cataclysmic Gear Hulk in hand for Walter as well. And that Gear Hulk, great against Monument decks, which we saw running around a lot before the Pro Tour, but also dealing quite handily with something like Mono Red should it come to it.
You see, in English, we would call that a Minister of Inquiries.
Really?
With the emphasis on the
Inquiries.
Yeah, because you go in to the ministry. You say, "Is the minister free? I have an inquiry I would like to make."
Not an inquiry?
Not an inquiry. No, actually, it's an you would enquire, not inquire. I was inquire when I was at school.
Oh my god. Or you could just play good cards, which is what Royce is opting to do right here.
You see that invention card is like at about 8 degrees off true there.
Yeah.
That's because that's the angle of invention.
Oh no, it hurts. It hurts.
Excellent.
Those Thopters standing in.
Oh, well done, Hawkeye. Hawkeye 0117 says, "Great tangent there, Rich."
Oh, that is pretty good. That is good.
That's the win. We will both applaud you for that. Well done, Hawkeye.
Well done.
Excellent.
Here we see Hunter not really adding much to the table here in this game, but trying to just deal with some of the threats that Walter is deploying there. You saw Harness Lightning taking down that Angel of Invention.
Okay, Hunter, we need a comeback, please. Because you're at 16, you've got nothing on the board, and there's still 32 minutes of the round left.
I see at least, I think, 2 lands in hand for Hunter as well, so not a great position. There comes the Champion of Wits, a couple of 1/1s for Royce. And another Champion of Wits is going to allow Royce to draw another 2 and discard. And there you see a Gate to the Afterlife was one of the draws, which allows you to go search out your God Pharaoh's Gift.
Mm-hmm. Situational tutor.
I'm really happy to see a card like Refurbish getting play for purely selfish reasons, in that it was my preview card.
Oh my god. Okay, that is the nichest thing I've ever heard. What's one of your favorite cards? Why do you like it? It was my preview card. Said nobody ever.
Except for me right now.
That was good.
I know. I wrote the article and I was like, well, this is a card, you know.
Yeah, wouldn't it? And I mean, I
know.
do actually get that because, you know, lifting the lid a little, it is true that for all the people who do get preview cards, you are desperate for it to be good. You're desperate for it to be loved. You're desperate for it to be cool. You're desperate not to have to make a 2-hour podcast about a 2-2 for 3 with no text.
Yes. And pointing out those Thopters, yeah, they should be servos. but just having them stand in for little 1-1s at the moment.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we can get on top of that. Our people in the feature match area will provide servos with a smile.
That's my favorite one so far today.
Yeah, just getting started. Pray, people at home, pray for JVL to get here. Because every round he's not here, you're stuck with me.
I love it, Rich.
I'm not sure they do.
God Pharaoh's gift hitting the table for Walter here, and things, if they weren't already ugly enough, are about to get hideous for Hunter.
Hideous for Hunter sounds like a kind of country rock.
Country rock?
Country rock album.
Oh, yeah. All right, we're going to deal with that God Pharaoh's gift there, but Hunter's still in a pretty precarious situation here. There we go. There's the servos.
29 minutes and counting. Oh, God.
In for 6 comes Walter.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
Someone have a judge call.
A really long and complicated
A really
judge
long.
call.
Yeah.
Tireless tracker for Hunter here is going to be able to net himself a clue to try and dig his way out of this mess, but it's looking pretty bad.
So anecdotally, we have proof that Teamer Energy is a terrible deck because the only match it's won on camera so far today was against itself.
Does that mean that it's bad?
Well, I mean, Teamer Energy has lost one, assuming that this continues to be Royce Walter, Teamer Energy has lost 100% of the on-camera matches at this GP.
And also won 100% of them.
Well, no, because Royce Walter's going to win.
Oh, yeah, yes.
And that'd be 50%. That's different.
Oh,
to
50%.
100%.
You're right.
You know when you said that you weren't good at math?
Yeah.
You are right.
Royce Walter.
Just saying.
Swinging for the fences here. Letting a champion of wits go down to a Tyler's tracker. But guess what? A champion of wits in your graveyard. Not all that bad at all. Just comes on back. And here we see drawing you more cards, allowing you to pitch more things for potential future God Pharaoh's gift. And this we can kind of see this move where the player is pulling the card halfway out of the sleeve to represent the eternalized champion of wits.
Captain Redstorm says, wow, Rich, so rude. Well, yes, as long as you understand that we're saying it in fun and we love each other dearly. And we have actually talked off air about math and numbers, and 50% being different to 100% is definitely a number issue right there. So, yes, I would never be that rude to anyone in real life. He's on 1.
Yep.
Infinitely more than 0.
1 is not 0, Rich. I know that much about
It's the
math.
opposite of 0.
Ooh.
If we're binary.
Yeah. It's actually interesting when I talk about math and magic and these sorts of things. Like, growing up, I was pretty horrendous at it. It just wasn't my strong suit. But playing Magic has allowed me to kind of get in touch with that side of myself more and not feel quite as bad.
I mean, it's a stupendously complex game of numbers, for sure. As we see, the handshake from Royce Walter.
Royce Walter picking up that match handily 2-0 with his God Pharaoh's gift deck. I'm glad we got to see it on camera, and hope we get to see it on camera more this weekend, because it is a really, really interesting and fun deck. I have a friend here who's playing the tournament, actually made himself custom God Pharaoh's gift tokens, so when they're eternalized, they come back and they look like the actual, you know, if you're playing Magic Online, the black version of the eternalized cards, which is really cool.
Yes.
So hopefully we'll get to see more of this deck in action. But for now, we're going to listen to these messages. you.